After all, on either side of the Atlantic divide, a stop line at a stop sign is a thick white line. Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to roads. And specifically to road markings, that is, markings that are on the road as opposed to signposts, which I've already done a video about. At least road markings or road surface markings are how I, as a Brit, came to know these things. But in doing research for this very video, I discovered that certain American documents might refer to them as pavement markings. And of course, this is doubly confusing to me because where I'm from, a pavement is what Americans refer to as a sidewalk. Anyway, when it comes to road markings, there are several ways in which Britain and America differ. Here are some of the more common ones. So here's some interesting trivia. The first painted center line to appear on an American road is believed to have happened in Wayne County, Michigan in 1911. If legend is to be believed, the idea was conceived by the chairman of the Wayne County Board of Roads who, and I'm not making this up, witnessed a leaky milk wagon leave a white stain in the middle of the road. We've all done it. And afterwards he was like, we need this on our roads, right? Just not milk. And so the centre line, dividing two lanes of traffic going in opposite directions, was born. But it didn't last, at least not in the United States, where today a centre line is yellow. Now there's a whole backstory as to why this happened, but because I only have half an hour remaining on my parking meter, I'm going to skip ahead in the interest of time. The United Kingdom didn't get the memo because their centre lines are as white as American teeth. And that's still the case today. Now, centre lines in both countries are sort of like Mystique from the X-Men. They can take on different appearances depending on the need. In the US, a broken yellow line not only indicates the centre of the road, but that this section of the road is a passing zone in which a vehicle can overtake another. Similarly, in the UK, a broken white line indicates both the centre of the road and that a vehicle is permitted to overtake another. But if you notice that these broken white lines are getting longer, that means there's a potential hazard ahead, like a sharp bend or drunk England fans, so drive with caution. Back in the US, if the centre line is in fact two solid yellow lines, this indicates a no passing zone. These are commonly found if, say, you're driving along and, oh no, the lane's about to end, or there's an obstruction ahead. Now, there is one instance in the United Kingdom where you will also see a double solid yellow line, but it's not in the centre of the road, so bear with me. Two solid white lines in the middle of a UK road are used to, and I quote, prohibit drivers from travelling in an area of the road used by the opposing flow of traffic, generally where overtaking, see passing, visibility is restricted. You must not stop on roads marked with double white lines. So as we've seen, roads in both countries utilise centre lines that are both solid and broken. Sometimes both types of line will be used at the same time, which I've just realised is a magnificent rhyme. In the US, this basically means that traffic driving on the side of the broken line can pass other vehicles. But the same isn't true for the traffic driving along the solid line. It just isn't fair. In the UK, according to the Highway Code, you may cross the line if necessary, provided the road is clear, to pass a stationary vehicle or overtake a pedal cycle, horse or road maintenance vehicle if they are travelling at 10 miles per hour or less. There's a reason I never got my licence. Anyway, let's move from the centre of the road to this. Somewhere along the way, somebody decided it would be a good idea to mark the edge of the road so that we don't fall off. And both Britain and America achieve this in a very similar way, through the implementation of a solid white line. And so you're probably thinking, ooh, Lawrence, I thought this video was about differences, not similarities. And it is. Here's where they differ. Because our two countries drive on different sides of the road, this white solid line denotes the edge of the roadway accordingly. In America, it's on the driver's right. In Britain, it's on his or her left. And now you're going, whoopee-doo, Lawrence, we know they drive on different sides of the road. This is just obvious, right? Well, there's more to it than that. In Britain, that white line will sometimes turn yellow by design. I mean, it's not magic. And that just means that you can't park there during the times that are listed on a nearby sign. But there is yet another marking that indicates that you can't park there at any time, ever. And this is signified by the previously mentioned double yellow line. See, America, anything you can do, we can do just as well, but off to the side. When it comes to stop and yield lines, the biggest difference between Britain and America lies most discernibly with the latter. After all, on either side of the Atlantic divide, a stop line at a stop sign is a thick white line. fine, but yield, known in the UK as give way, is an entirely different animal, almost literally when you consider the fact that US yield markings are often referred to as shark's teeth. And that's because they are shaped like shark's teeth. What did you expect? But in the UK, we have different give-way markings for every occasion. Yeah, our roads are like the greeting card section at Hallmark, except, not as expensive. But we have giveaway markings to yield to traffic on a major road, or to traffic from the right at a roundabout, or to traffic from the right at a mini roundabout, right? We just love our roundabouts, second only to T, right? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody designed a roundabout shaped like a teacup, despite the safety concerns. Anyway, speaking of safety, that brings us on to this. Alright, so both countries utilise a zebra/zebra pattern for their pedestrian crossings. So what's the difference? Well, firstly, it's in the name. In Britain, of course, we refer to this as a zebra crossing. On American roads, there are no zebras to be found, presumably because they were all eaten by the shark teeth. They are known instead as crossings or crosswalks. But here's one crucial difference. When I'm trying to cross a crosswalk here in the United States, it can be a toss-up as to whether I can see the oncoming traffic behind the parked cars next to me. But in Britain, this is often taken care of by those unusual zigzag lines that you might have seen on the internet, or if you live in Britain. And essentially, these lines prohibit people from parking so close to a pedestrian crossing so as to not obscure the view of pedestrians and zebras. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below whether you're from one country and have driven in the other. My name is Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at LostInThePondUS, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that my videos don't get lost in the pond. A multi-lane highway-sized shout out to my patrons who make these videos possible. If you would like to become a patron of Lost in the Pond, you can do so at patreon.com/lostinthepond. Until the next video, goodbye.